Everybody, welcome to Snow Talk. This is Way Through News meteorologist Brian Good. This is our daily blog where we always look at, for snow lovers, any chance for snow. There are a couple chances for snow, but still no signs of anything significant showing up anytime soon. If anything, we have more warm weather events to be tracking, which is not unheard of for this time of the year and fully expected. So we've got a lot to discuss, so let's get right to it. You see the stats there in the snow on the bottom of the banner there. Not much has obviously changed. On the board for snow, we do have tomorrow night into Thursday, and then we have Sunday night into Monday, although trends on that do support that it may very well fall off the board. March 2nd did fall off the board, and I'll explain why that is coming up in a few minutes. First off, today, we're already seeing some overachieving in temperatures because the cloud deck has been relatively thin across areas of Kentucky at the moment. Although the cloud deck has been increasing, the thicker clouds are way down here across southern Kentucky, so most of the afternoon is going to be sunny, so we're going to get close to 60 for high today. In fact, Columbia is 57. Bowling Green, by the way, is almost at 58 at the moment. 56 here, 48 in Salem, but again, I think we'll get close to 60 this afternoon with a good amount of sunshine expected for the area, but that will change for tonight, so enjoy this while you can, because we will have some problems to contend with in the next 24 hours. Now, does that mean we're not going to get any sun tomorrow? No, I think we will for a little period of time. But here's the storm, winding itself up, very strong southerly flow, jet energy just diving right into Louisiana in the I-10 corridor, and we've already had several tornado warnings as a result of the system. And this system is really deepening now in Texas, and it's going to roar its way out all the way into Kentucky. And the way this is going to be, this low is going to track directly over the city of Louisville. And we'll talk about that in here in a second. First off, I do want to mention the tornado parameters here, or the severe weather parameters. First off, the moderate risk, it's getting close to high risk level as some of the indices we've been looking at, but overall I think moderate risk is certainly valid here for Florida, parts of Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and certainly Louisiana. This is well south of wave country, by the way. The tornado potential, though, is in a hashtag area, a hatched area. A lot of social media talk. Hatched area, which would indicate potential for significant tornadoes, perhaps EF3 or stronger potentially in the zone today. So very active weather. Let's hope everybody's paying attention to the warnings down there and stay safe. All right. Again, I got a couple tornado warnings. Several funnel clouds have been spotted already, and some of the parishes there in Louisiana. All right. So let's talk about how this is going to impact us. As we mentioned, temperatures today overachieving. The rain, though, will break out across Tennessee rapidly tonight on the radar, and will begin to influence our southern counties just after sunset. Here in Louisville, I think it's going to be between 9 and 11 o'clock tonight. We get our first round of rain, and the rain will continue to increase. In fact, look at this. By 2 or 3 in the morning, lots of rain, and locally heavy rain in some cases, and some lightning and thunder, especially across this area of Kentucky. We will begin to pick up some lightning strikes more than likely after 3 o'clock in the morning. E-Town and Litchfield, you may get an early morning wake-up call. And then as we head into the morning period, now here's where the models are beginning to diverge a little bit. There is going to be a dry spot that is going to work its way in ahead of the low itself. This is where we could see some sunshine in the morning period, and look at the reaction to that. That south flow is key. And the way the low is going to track right across Breckinridge County over Louisville into Cincinnati, we would remain in the southerly flow in Jefferson County. You cross the bridge, literally cross the bridge into Indiana, and you run into a more cooler, wet atmosphere. Pretty much a miserable forecast really for you guys from Bedford to North Vernon and Salem. May not get out of the 40s with steady rain throughout most of the day, while we may see some sunshine in 60s to the south. So very contrasting weather impacts for wave country from one end to the other as we head into the day on Wednesday. Now, throughout the day itself, we are going to see this dry slot continue to be an impact here. Now, notice that the RPM model is trying to push up warm air all the way into Seymour by the afternoon. I don't know if it's going to go that far north. It's possible. But this warm air, it's a little ribbon of warm air. It's going to be shaped just like this, is going to inject itself into the core of the low. So we're going to see a quick rise and a quick drop as the low pressure moves through wave country. Now, the best instability with the sun coming out looks to be along I-75, and this is where we could see some stronger thunderstorms. I did see the SPC for tomorrow did outlook West Virginia into a marginal risk for severe weather. There's a possibility Eastern Kentucky could be added to that later. It will depend on how much sun we pick up in the morning period. But it looks like it'll be out of our area at this point for any strong thunderstorm potential. Still, though, it's going to be a windy day, and some lightning and thunder can be found. Is it going to be a rainy day for a lot of us? Probably not. It's going to be more spotty downpours and rumbles of thunder throughout the day. So the heaviest, steadiest of rainfall is going to be tonight, the overnight period. Tomorrow, it's going to be more hit or miss, bands of showers and thunderstorms off and on, a little bit of sun mixed in, warm and windy. So it is going to be a very dynamic day when it comes to that, by all means, but not a steady rain the way it's looking now. Then as we get into the evening, as I mentioned yesterday, the way this warm core is, the cold air is going to wrap around the center. So this means that places like Louisville down to Campbellsville could go to snow before Salem does tomorrow night. And that's going to look wicked on the radar, but that's the way the core is wrapped up. And that is very plausible. And I think it's a common setup you would see almost, I don't want to say a hurricane, but this is kind of a warm center to it. So again, the way these bands are going to feed into it, the cold air gets pulled in and will wrap around that low. And again, our southern counties certainly could go to snow quicker than Indiana. Then we'll go into snow for a lot of us throughout the entire day. Snow showers and snow squalls. Best potential for accumulation, I still think it's going to be eastern Kentucky. We may see some grassy accumulations, but look at the temperatures. I mean, we'll be above freezing. That's why we're not playing the snow idea up here. Now, I'm a snow lover, but I really can't play it up because I don't see a lot of support for this to be a big deal and an impacting event, even if it did stick, because the warm ground and we're going to be above freezing, so the roads will be wet. But yeah, the snow rates could be there. This may not be light snow. This could be locally heavy snow in some cases, but it will be a grassy accumulation or just melt altogether when it touches the ground. So snow, not the big deal there. Here is the GFS and really the NAM high-res picked up on it too, the CAPE instability parameters for tomorrow. And again, I-75 late morning looks to be where that develops and then heads into West Virginia. So we may see some thunder and lightning here locally, but I think it's going to be more I-75. But look at the center of the low here. This is the NAM 4K. 986 millibars is the pressure that is shown over Breckinridge County. And again, that low is going to track right over Louisville into Cincinnati. That would put it, the lowest we've been so far this decade is about 991 on pressure. Actually, yeah, 991 has been the lowest we've been so far this decade in 2010. So this could potentially be the strongest low pressure to pass over the city since the decade began. And that is going to hurt a little bit. If you suffer from arthritis, you got problems with migraines, you may feel that tomorrow. So kind of a heads up there on your body impacts. Now, the wind potential on this is something we'll be watching too. Notice the wind's really strong on the backside of the low. We'll get to that here in just a second. First off, here's NAM 4K. It's showing, again, thunderstorms breaking out, some heavy rain here locally. You're probably asking, hey, wait a minute, why isn't that showing snow? Well, because the NAM 4K, you got to switch the type on the radar. Then you can see where the snow is. And again, it'll be on the backside of the system there. Here's the SREF model. And again, it's looking at precip type, and you can see where it's rain, rain, rain. And here's the changeover that'll take place tomorrow night. We go over from rain into snow, and even showing maybe another mix here developing as we get into Thursday night and early Friday morning, by the way. So the snow changes could linger a little bit into early Friday, the way it's looking, and the latest Euro is supporting that as well. All right, as far as snow amounts, again, not a big deal. You look at the black line for the average, it's saying a potential for maybe a ½ inch of grassy accumulation. There's one ensemble member here of the SREF that's going 3 inches all by itself. If this guy wins, congratulations. You should win a prize, but I don't see that happening. When it comes to the wind potential, though, I think this could be a bigger factor at the tail end. This is the sustained winds, the black line. When we get that south flow tomorrow, yeah, the sustained winds could get about 18 to 20 miles per hour, gusts to 30. But the strongest of winds, I think, are going to be on the colder side of the low. So late Wednesday night and Thursday is when we'll have the strongest winds. So what is the Weather Service going to do? Are they going to issue a wind advisory for this entire period or just focus on Thursday? I don't know. That's their call. But I think we could have criteria more for Wednesday night, Thursday, with gusts up to 40, more so than we would for Wednesday afternoon. But we'll see how that is handled. Then as we get into the weekend, it looks warm on Saturday and Sunday, warming trend. In fact, well into the 60s on Saturday. GFS is the furthest south and more impacting with the slow Sunday night Monday with the band of rain showers going to a quick thumping of snow. This looks less impressive than it did yesterday, mind you. The latest Euro is way north of the low and very little cold air. It doesn't even go to snow at all into Monday. So this is looking to be a very minor event, if anything at all even develops out of that. So heads up there. Then we get into March 2nd. GFS is showing a strong low March 2nd with timing right now putting the potential for convection in the heat of the day into our neck of the woods. A closer look at the low showing at a 997. The Canadian and Euro do show it averaging more toward Illinois, but we'll have to watch this one for March 2nd and see how this plays out. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on that because it's too early. But it is. We're going to see a lot of this. A lot of low pressures that are stronger, and a lot of them are going to be cutting to the Great Lakes. With the NAO being negative to neutral, it's going to slow the weather pattern down. So there may be some spacing in between these, allow each one of them to have a warming trend ahead of them. But again, spacing's key. If we get another system to come in quickly behind one, you can get maybe a wintry setup. But that's a big F, and I don't want to go into big Fs. All right, guys, that's it for today. We'll have much more today beginning at 5 o'clock. I'll see you then.